Okay, so this will be a whole bunch of clips where I'm going to show you the miserableness of women. Where I'm going to show you the miserableness of women. Okay, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Um, so um, I that's and I want to say, right, some of these TikTok videos, I hate how the sounds are always not very evened. You know, some are loud, some are quiet, which is always madly annoying. But you know, it is what it is. So excuse me of that. If they're quiet, I'll try to not say anything and just let it play out. So hopefully, me not saying anything, you could hear you could hear her, you could hear them talk louder. But we'll see.
It has not been my loss yet. I have literally never. Let me tell you something. It has not been my loss yet. I have literally never, and I mean never, left or been left by a man and thought to myself, oh my God, I just lost a good one. It has never happened, and it will never happen. I'm not a woman that you find twice. I am not a woman that you find twice. So if you...
One, sounds like you've never been with a good man. Two, okay, if they left you, why would they want to find you again? Or find a similar woman to you? I've said this before. It's the ego for modern day women. It's absolutely ridiculous.
want to be stupid, if you want to be stupid, please be my guest. I will gladly open the door for you. If you want to be stupid, do that. I will get the last laugh because you will search for me in every other woman that you date. And you won't find me because the counterfeits will never be as raw as the real thing. And you fumbled the real thing, stupid. I have exes that are still trying to circle the block because they went and dated other people and tried to find me and said people and couldn't find me, baby. You won't find me. I'm a once in a lifetime kind of chick. You won't find me. I think that we need to congregate and have a serious conversation about that gender, the state of that gender, because these men are not normal. They're not normal. They're evil. They have become increasingly evil. I was literally having a conversation with my friend about this last night. They have become increasingly evil, and it is quite concerning. I am about to employ...
Statistically, studies have shown that men have become comparatively, uh, compared to the past, men are actually less aggressive, less combative, less assertive, less violent. It is a statistical fact. Compared to the past, right? She says more evil. Well, what are you comparing it to? The past? Which kind of ridiculous since it's always young women. Who are you comparing it to? What are you comparing it to? And then the ego. It's the utter. And I'm probably gonna say this a lot through these videos. These are the women, right? Why I built the case where I wish I support women staying single for the rest of their life. Please don't become baby mamas, right? Don't have kids. Be single. If you could, sterilize yourself because we don't need, more of you, right? We don't need you to produce the next generation. I hope you die out, right? People like you, I hope you die out. It's the ego that makes you guys insane, right? And it's the delusion, it's the hypocrisy, it's the absolute insanity. So this is why I said I stand on what I believe that these women, why I support women just being single. please stop dating men. Stop dealing with men. Just please, like for you, right? I wish for you, right? Stop dealing with men. Stop dating men.
A word that I do not utilize often, but the way that men behave is absolutely demonic. Absolutely demonic. And this is coming from someone that identifies as agnostic. It's demonic. Their hearts are wicked. They are evil. I dealt with a man recently and realized
These men are evil. I dealt with a man. Do you not see the insanity of that? Men are evil. Now you talk about the one man you dealt with. So does that not say that you choose to deal with evil men? The men that I find this the stupidest, right? Where women, and you'll probably see this throughout this, women use the men that they choose as a template for all men. I swear God, women are idiotic.
that he took pleasure in making me upset. He enjoyed seeing me upset and enjoyed making me cry and enjoyed making me sad. They get off on that shit. Like, it makes them erect. They're sick.
Okay, they're sick, yet you are healthy for wanting to date them? I find this really, and again, I'm sorry, this is a 5-minute video, right? So, again, I have a lot of videos, so I want to just get through it, right? So I'm just reacting to it while watching it. I find it funny that women complain about the liars, the cheaters, the abusers, the whatever shitty ass men, yet you synonymously, constantly choose said men. Literally, exhibit A.
They're sick. They'll start off doing all the right things, saying all the right things, and then when you least expect it, they'll flip the switch, turn cold. It's truly like sociopathic, psychopathic shit. The mind games that they play, it's truly demonic, y'all. Like, I'm not playing. It's demonic. The mind games that they play, they always have to have the upper hand. They always have to have the upper hand. And don't even get me started on the jealousy. These men are literally jealous of women. They're jealous of us, y'all. Like, no joke. I dated a man earlier this year who was absolutely jealous of me. They look at you and they envy you for all of the things that drew them to you in the first place. They look at you and they see all of the things that they could never be. You could never be this charming. You could never be this eloquent. You could never be this beautiful. You could never be this witty. You could never work a room like this. They see us and they see everything that they're not and that they could never be. And I know that when videos like this are made, women always feel the need to disclaim that it's not all men. I'm not saying it's all men. Well, I'm saying it. It's all men. It's all men, and I don't care who's offended. It's all of them. It's all of them. Even the so-called nice ones. It's all of them. They're all sick. It's like it's in their DNA, bro. I swear to God, men are fucking possessed. The way that they act, the way that they behave is so abnormal. It's not funny, y'all. Like,
And yet, her examples are the men she's attracted to. It's the men she dates. That's her examples. Men she goes for. And this is the thing where, you know what? This is why I don't mind saying women, right? I mean, I don't. Because at the end of the day, right? Women do not have a problem with saying all men. Women don't have a problem with saying all men. So this is why I even though I don't believe it's all women, but fuck it, right? Fuck it. Just like her, right? I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Women. I will say women. I don't need to fucking make a distinction. I don't, because women don't have a problem with it. Women think it's logical to paint such a broad brush, to paint all men with the same brush. So, again, this is why I love making these videos, because here's the thing. I have video proof of women's insanity. Video proof. All right? I have a catalog, thousands of videos, right? Or at least hundreds of videos of showing women's delusions, their hypocrisies, their insanities, okay? The weakness of their arguments.
Sharing a planet with them is hell. They're gross. They're sick.
You still date them.
Like, I don't think that they can be rehabilitated, bro. I know that we often say, like, seek therapy. I don't even think therapy can save these niggas. They get off on seeing the light leave your eyes. I can't remember the name of the trend that was done recently where formerly married women were sharing pictures of themselves while they were married, in which they looked absolutely disheveled, absolutely just like a mess, and they looked sick. Some of them looked sick, looked inflamed, red eyes, just looked sick. And then they shared pictures of themselves post-divorce, in which they looked absolutely stunning, in which they were absolutely glowing. Men are the fucking problem. They're the fucking problem. They're demonic, bro. Like, men deserve to be alone. Niggas is talking about a male loneliness epidemic. Good. By the way, the male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted. They created their own hell. They created that. They don't know how to treat people. They don't know how to treat women. They don't even fucking like women. The male loneliness epidemic was created by them. Man.
It's gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard, right? This is watching all these videos is gonna be hard because this is why I probably need a break. I'm probably gonna need a break because these women are insufferable. They are utterly, utterly insufferable. Again, you wonder why I constantly go back to just stay single, right? These women. This is the thing. I just did a live where we're talking about MGTOW. Right? Literally, men have created a movement to stay away from these women like this. So men are not crying about being single. Like literally, even this male loneliness. Do you even see a single man crying about being single or crying about being alone? I don't see men complaining, oh my God, I'm so alone. Or, oh my God, I'm like, oh, the male loneliness thing. No. God, women are unbearable.
We're in a fine nigga drought. I go outside and I see beautiful women every day, right? We're not lacking in beautiful women. I step outside and I'll see 5 beautiful women easily. But it seems like I only see a fine man once every blue moon. Excuse me. What's tea? What's up with that? I feel like fine niggas only exist on TV, on the internet. You know what I mean? Like what's happening? What's happening? Can someone explain to me like we're in a drought, right? Like we're in a drought, right? A fine nigga drought. Talk to me. We're in a drought, right? Because something's not adding up. The math is not mathing. I step outside. I see, like, no joke, no exaggeration. I see beautiful women every day, multiple times a day. Like, what's up with the men though? You know what I mean? Like, these niggas are not fine no more. I feel like I see a fine man once every blue moon. What's up? What's tea?
I try my best not to insult women's looks because honestly, I don't want to stoop to that low. But it's always the average ass women that complains there's no good looking men. I find it funny. I mean, I could really dig in deep about looks. I could. And I know you guys would. It's always women like this, looking like this, that says there's no good-looking men around. Okay. And I show these videos because it's the hypocrisy. One video saying, oh, you know what, men are evil. Why do you give a shit if there's good-looking men or not? Men are evil. All men are evil. All men are terrible. All men should be just sick, right? It's like, where is it? Right? This is the problem with women, right? You say 1 minute you decenter men. The next minute you say men are this, men are that. You keep on talking about men. Men are not out here saying, oh, I'm going to decenter women and then continue talking about women. Continue wanting women. Continue where are good women at? Or where are the beautiful women at? Are you crazy? You literally said men are evil. Men are terrible. Men should stay sick. All these things, all of these ugly ass rhetoric against men. And now you wonder where good looking men are? Why would you even wonder that?
Do you want to know why the dating pool is as awful as it is? One of many reasons why the dating pool is as awful as it currently is and has been for the past few years.
Because of women like you.
I'm realizing more and more that most men are not in it for the connection. They have no real desire.
Not in it for the connection. Yeah, this bitch just talk about there's no good looking men out there. I love the internet. I love the internet. If you are a man that makes content, male-centered content, you have plenty of material to show women's hypocrisies.
To connect. They have no desire to get to know anybody. They have no desire to learn anything about anyone or themselves. They're simply in it, right, because they're looking for people to be impressed by them. Yeah. It's evident in the things that they speak most about, whether that's what they do for work or how much money they have or, how ambitious they are, like that means anything at all. It's evident in the questions that they ask. Oftentimes they will ask very specific questions, and it's not because they care at all to hear what your answer is to said question. It's because they want to answer it. They want to answer the question and hope that you'll be impressed by what their answer is. And what I think that a lot of these men fail to realize is that they're very deeply unimpressive. They are so painfully unimpressive. And the things that they think make them impressive don't mean shit at all, right? Like I said, a lot of men will talk about themselves a lot. They'll talk about what they do for work or what they've done or what countries they've traveled to or how much money they've made. And it's like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit. Yet you literally, a few seconds ago, you said men don't want deeper shit. You don't care about him. Yet you think he should care about you? I love women's hypocrisy.
If you're not a decent person, I don't give a shit. If you're not a kind person, I don't give a shit. If you're not someone that cares about other people.
I just showed you 2 videos of this woman. Do you think this woman even cares about men? Does this woman even come off as caring? As kind? Please tell me. Maybe I'm delusional.
I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? The things that they think make them impressive, the things that they think make them a catch are so wildly unimpressive. And I'm just realizing more and more, these niggas are not in it to connect. They're not in it to connect. It's evident in the lack of curiosity, okay? Like I said, they'll ask you very specific questions, but like I said, they're not interested in hearing what you have to say about the matter, right? They're not genuinely interested in your answer. They just want to answer the question. You'll be talking to these niggas and it feels like you're conducting an interview. It feels like you're conducting an interview. You're asking all these questions, genuinely trying to get to know someone, and they're just answering. They're just answering. And so I say all this to say,
This is why women are illogical. When you ask a question, you should answer. What do you mean? Like they're not going in deeper, right? They're not having deeper answers. Then okay, but just saying they're just answering. No fucking duh. You ask them a question. I swear to God, do women not have like actual critical thinking? You ask them a question, they answer said question. Now, if you said they're not going deeper into their answers, fine. How about ask them, right? It's like, oh, could you explain? Or, I would love to hear more. Or it's like fucking women are.
that like, I don't even know. I don't even know. I just felt like getting this off my chest. I don't even know. I think that these niggas are just disgustingly unimpressive. And I think we should tell them that more. We should tell them that they're losers, and no amount of money, no amount of accolades or degrees can unloser a loser. I'm learning that more and more as I get older. None of that shit can unloser a loser. At their cores, these niggas are losers. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. Do you want?
You know, although I can go in on this woman, you wonder why I've said that I don't support all men. I only support good men, or what I deem as good men. Why? Because here's the thing. A woman as disgusting as this, she has options. A woman as disgusting, as absolute heinous as this, she has option. Because men are ruled by their desire for women. Men's weakness are women and lust. Men are weak. That's why I don't support all men. This is why I don't desire to have like millions of men following me. I don't care because honestly, I've seen it with other content creators. You get such a despairing or such a wide range of views in these men. Right? A lot of these men may follow these content creators, but they don't they're just as weak, right? They will still go for shitty ass women like this. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the straight. I would not deal with a motherfucker like this. I would rather suffer loneliness than deal with someone as miserable as this. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to show you this. I'm pretty sure almost every single woman I'll show you tonight, I'd rather be alone than even be in the vicinity of any of these women. And some of these women are decent looking. Some of these women are decent looking, right? Some of them are even highly attractive. But I'd rather suffer loneliness than even wake up to such an ugly, ugly ass person. And I can tell you this right now. I don't desire to have a crazy ass huge following because honestly, I'm going to get following from men I honestly don't like. Because I can tell you this right now. If you are a type of man that has no boundaries, no self-respect, that you will deal with women like this, don't follow me. Don't. Right? Because honestly, you are a weak ass man. And that's not about how strong you are, right? I care about how mentally strong you are, right? I care about, how strong your heart is. I care about your discipline. I care about you not making women your weakness.
If men didn't exist, the world would be perfect. It would be pretty calm and peaceful. Men ruin everything. Like, just imagine a life without men. That would be a dream come true. If men didn't exist, the world would be perfect. It would.
I've said this before. If women were men, they would be incels. If women were men, they would be black pill. women, you literally this video, right? Imagine these videos, right? Imagine if these were all men and their talking points, their talking points word for word were exactly the same. The only thing changes if they say a woman or if they say a man, they meant a woman, right? So again, just flip the genders of what they're saying. Please, if you could, right? If you could imagine it, imagine if all these women I'm showing you were actual men and then their talking points were exactly the same. The only difference is flip the genders of what they're saying. I guarantee you, majority of people will view these as incels.
I could never get married because I can't imagine having a bad day and then having to go home to a man. Or I can't imagine waking up every day next to a man. Absolutely not. My day would instantly be ruined. Like, I would never have a good day. Absolutely not. I could never get married because I can't imagine having a bad day and then having to go home to a man. Or I can't imagine waking up every day next to a man. Absolutely not. My day would instantly be ruined. Like, I would never have a good day. Absolutely not. I couldn't.
Most of the women I'm showing you tonight literally built a platform of just hating on men. Like, I do not like. I find it like hilarious that I get people coming on to my. I recently had one, right, not too long ago, of a man coming on my my live and saying that I bully women, I hate on women. Please show it to me. Right? I don't. This right here, that's pure hate. That's hate. Nothing she said is that, oh, you hold men accountable. Where is that? Literally, it's just hate. Like, oh my God, men being around me, waking up to a man that honestly you chose. Oh, that's terrible. Me, I hold women accountable for the words they say and the actions they do. I just don't say shit out of just to say shit or say it out of nowhere. I have video fucking proof.
Sis gonna tell me what I'm successfully married and you just mad because your marriage failed. I say, oh, okay. I said, sis, you might be right. But I want to know how successful your marriage really is. Right. So pull back. It's for every woman who married or in a long-term relationship. Pull back from everything. No love making, no cooking, no cleaning, no nurturing, no ask him how his day was, no feeding into his ego.
So you essentially said, okay, every woman that's in a relationship, act like you're not in a relationship? And what? You expect them to like love it? One, plenty of men are still in sexless marriages. So, and two, the correlation that, okay, how about let me do nothing for you? Let me not treat you nice, treat you with kindness, respect, and love, and see how you act? What the hell you think is going to happen? That's idiotic. Right? Say, okay, hey, ladies, don't love your man. See what happens. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you dense? No, duh. What man was like, okay, you know what? My wife doesn't love me anymore. My girlfriend doesn't love me anymore. And she's showing it. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to still love on her. Like, if men don't show you any love, right? Absolutely no love and disrespects you, you think you'll stay in it? That's not the fucking problem.
No taking care of him, no asking him anything like that makes him feel great. Pull back from all of that. And when you do that, sis, one or two things gonna happen to show you if he really like or love you. If he really fuck with you like that, he gonna pick up your slacks, notice a problem, ask you what's going on, try to fix it, try to make sure everything good. But if he don't fuck with you like that, then you already know.
At the end of the day, if you got with a man that communicates, then you chose a man that communicates. Let's hold women accountable for their actions. If you chose a man, I find it really insane. Did he not have communication skills when you were dating? I mean, you dated him, right? Did he not have communications when you got engaged? I mean, you got engaged with him, right? Did you not have communication skills when you married him? Because you married. I find it like, why do women constantly do this, right? It's like women deem like, okay, the day I met you is the day I married you. Or is it the day I met you, a couple years later, is when I married you? So what the fuck were you doing during that whole time?
Mean-spirited. You got a booty face. And you know you got a booty face. You look like a feminine ogre. That's your whole build. You on here trying to tell women in happy marriages how to test their marriage and yours failed. What are you talking about? Ew. Oh yeah. How about you stop doing your part of the whole marriage and everything that y'all agreed upon and how to treat each other to see if he really feel good about that? Because that's what the reaction would come from. If you got a bad reaction from listening to everything negative that she just said due to your man, there would definitely be a bad reaction to how he's being treated. If you're being treated bad, you're going to react to that. Could you imagine a man and a woman get together and they decide that his role is to be Mr. Provider Man and her role is to cook and clean? And one day he just says, I'm not going to be Mr. Provider Man anymore. What the fuck? She has every right to be like, what? Why? I don't think I like this. I think we've been married for 5-10 years and all of a sudden you're doing this. Why would you do that? That's how stupid you sound. Oh, you love and adore and your woman and take her out on dates and pay the bills and do all this, that, and the third. Yeah. Watch. I bet if you stop doing all that abruptly, she gonna be fucking mad at you. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, now if she get mad, that means she don't really love you, cuz. Or y'all just get, oh my god, bro, we gotta ban y'all from cell phones. Take your miserable spirited ass somewhere. Please get off the internet.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic. Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. Instead of making women the problem and saying that their standards are too high, maybe try and figure out why they don't want to be with you. What is it about you that maybe needs to change in order for a woman to want you? And they'll say, oh, there's no more good women left. Women are not like what they used to be. Women used to spend their days in the kitchen. Women only cared about taking care of the house and the kids. Oh yeah, and also women used to take our beatings. Women used to stay quiet. Women didn't complain. Women didn't think they could get better. Women didn't have confidence and self-worth and weren't able to speak up for themselves. And that suited you. That's the kind of person you wanted. If you love your mum's generation so much, cool, maybe marry one of her single friends. Women are not the problem. They have just woken up and realized they deserve better, that they don't actually need anything from these men, and they're only going to accept a man in their life if the man can make their life better. And if you cannot do that, you will not be chosen. If you can't level up,
If you don't need anything from a man, why do you want to be with a man that makes your life better? You don't need it. The utter hypocrisy.
and be the kind of man that women of this day and age want, you won't get to have a woman in this day and age. Your tricks are not working anymore. The internalized misogyny, the oppression, all of that, it's not working anymore. Women are waking up from it. Women are healing. Women are learning to love themselves and their own company. Women are learning to support and love each other and have communities and have friendships that are valuable and fulfilling. We now know that getting married and having children is a choice, that you don't have to do that, that is not what makes you successful or fulfilled in life. In fact, having kids when you haven't healed yourself and you don't know your own worth is actually the problem. It's why so many, if not all of us, have childhood traumas, have issues. What's happening right now is very normal. It's called evolution. It's happened many times before. When conditions change in the world, you either evolve to survive or you get left behind. This is evolution. Instead of complaining about it, evolve. There is no male loneliness epidemic.
Whew, all these videos are going to be taxing. All these videos are going to be taxing. I'm sorry. I'm going to preface it that I'm sorry, guys, right? But it needs to be shown because I hope that after watching all these videos, it just ingrains into you guys that women are miserable. We need more men to either go MGTOW or do passport bros. Men are evolving. Men are adapting. You just won't like it. You won't like it, right? Because in the West, there's a growing population of men just staying single, of men getting out of the dating market, not complaining about it. This is a thing where men are not complaining about it. Men are not expecting women to change. I don't believe that, right? Men are not saying, oh, women need to go back to how it was. No, men are not asking for it. Men are not forcing women to change. What are men doing, right? Again, either go MGTOW, staying single, or they're doing passport bros. They're finding women that fit what they want instead of, and that's what I like, right? That's what I like about how men think. I'm not going to force change on you, right? You do what you want to do. It's not my right to force you to change. But as a man, it is logical. I know that I can find a woman that fits what I want. I'm not expecting women to change, but I'm going to find a woman, if I want to, right, that fits my ideology. Men know that there are women that will fit your ideology, fit what you want. Seems like women are suffering through that.
Making the decision to opt out of dating is like making the decision to opt out of the Matrix. One of my favorite creators, Mika, Mika, I hope you pronounce it Mika. If it's Micah, I'm really sorry if this video somehow gets to her. But she made a video talking about how at 29 years old, she has decided that she has opted out of dating. I myself decided to opt out of dating out of my last relationship that had ended in March of the beginning of this year. Dating men is traumatizing. There is no other way to put it. Dating men is traumatizing. Every time you put yourself back into the dating pool, no matter how much self-improvement you've done, no matter how many times you followed all of the rules that people have told you to follow, no matter how...
One, you don't self-improve to be a better partner for a man. Two, you don't follow rules that men have said. You follow rules that other women have said. So really, please, I 100% support you for opting out of dating. P.S. This is a stripper too, or an ex-stripper.
How many times you put yourself out there, no matter how many times you betray yourself, no matter how much you don't speak up and you try to conform yourself to be the perfect woman that a man wants you to be, you are going to be left traumatized after dealing with a man. No amount of optimism, no amount of positive thinking, no amount of fantasy, no amount of...
I said this already, that I think all of these women, or at least the majority of them, their whole content, their whole shtick is a lot of male-hating content.
Empty promises is going to mark you safe from dealing with the traumatizing experience that comes from dating men. Women should not have to be repeatedly traumatized by several men in order to potentially, emphasis on potentially, be able to find a person that is not going to traumatize them. And then to expect said person, after getting traumatized repeatedly, to pretend like they have never been traumatized in their life. Women that have decided to opt out of dating are not jaded, they're not angry, they're not bitter. Women are realizing that, why would I sign up to...
Sounds like all that. And I always love it. Lack of accountability. You chose these men. I always find it funny when it comes to women, where it's women who have, like, let's say you go to an ice cream shop, you have 100 different flavors to pick from, 100 different flavors, right? The one flavor you choose to pick, you got it, taste it, and it's like, that's disgusting, right? I can't believe this is disgusting. Why is this so disgusting? This thing is so disgusting. I hate it, right? It's so I mean, like, I blame you for giving it to me. I blame this for being disgusting. Did anyone force you to choose that? Did anyone force you to choose that? Right? And then, you know what? So funny, right? You threw that flavor away. You know what? I'm going to pick that same flavor again. Hope it tastes different the second time. Really? Bitch, you're stupid.
Repeatedly be traumatized. Why would I sign up for a situation when I have to cross my fingers, pray and lie to myself that this will not be a situation that will traumatize me. How often do women have to put themselves in harm's way hoping that they meet someone that is not going to harm them, that is not going to disrespect them, that isn't going to mistreat them? It's a fucking waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It is a waste to keep on playing this fucking game and being on this carousel of trauma that men repeatedly give women when it comes to the dating experience.
And you choose.
It's not worth it. The value of a man is not worth me going through several traumatic experiences to have one or to keep one. There is no value so great that a man possesses that I want to repeatedly keep putting myself in predicaments that make me feel bad, that hurt my feelings, that don't make me happy, just to say that I have a boyfriend. That if I have to be lonely and die with cats and die alone, then I'll allow that to happen to me. But you want to know what's not going to happen to me? I'm not going to be getting on this internet talking about how my husband hasn't worked in 8 years and it turns out that he actually is a PDF file because he was touching children while he was a teacher. At least I don't have to sit on here and get on the internet talking about
You know what I find is funny is that women constantly pick the exceptions, not the rules. Women always, and it's fine, right? It is what it is. People do this, right? You always pick the negatives, not the positive, because that's just your mindset. You always see the negativity. It is what it is, right? People do that, right? It's. I think it's human nature, right? We see the negatives, we don't really see the positive, which is, it is what it is, right? When you are this kind of person, particularly in the dating market, I'm glad, I'm happy, right? This is, again, you know what, might be surprising, but I'm supporting her. Thank you for opting out of the dating. The only issue is that even if you opt out, you still will fucking talk about men, right? Even though you say, I don't want to deal with men ever again, still talk about them. I just wish that these women would 100%, like, the whole lexicon of the word men, the word male, whatever, is disappeared from your vocabulary. I wish.
how I made macaroni for my husband and I wanted him to save me some and he fucking ate it all. At least I don't have to get on the internet and make a 12-year anniversary post about how my husband told me that I should be grateful that he didn't unalive me because he actually is incentivized to. Freeing yourself from the expectation.
I do point out that, she said it, okay? There's a plenty of women that are married, chose the man they married, and go online to just shame him, to show how poorly you pick men. I said this before, right? You wanted a good guy, you could have picked a good guy. You wanted a guy that would have been sensitive to your feelings, to be emotionally intelligent, you could have picked that man, right? You wanted a man that would treat you with love and respect, you could have picked that man. You just wasn't attracted to that man. There's no excuse.
Of constantly having to perform for men to be in the dating pool is one of the best feelings that you're ever going to have if you ever reach that stage in your decentering men journey. Because as a woman, to not care about people's opinion is to not allow people to control you. And to not allow people to control you is to put men in a position where they do not have any power. And for a man, that is the worst position for him to be in. The amount of dignity that women have to lose in order to be in a relationship or a marriage with a man is dehumanizing. It's demoralizing. It is a humiliation ritual. You are literally signing up to go to the pits of hell, and at what cost? To say that you have a ring on your finger that isn't going to be able to melt? To have a ring on your finger that's going to shine so bright temporarily that you forget about all the pain and trauma and destruction that this man has caused and that is continuously causing in your life? Opting out of dating means that I don't have to repeatedly be traumatized. And people can say all day long, choose better, choose better, choose better. That's literally like telling someone, you need to go to the casino and you need to make sure that you choose the perfect slot that you are going to win on every single.
Choosing better does not mean choosing perfect. This is why women are stupid. Choosing better does not mean choose perfect. My brother-in-law, okay? I've said this before. I think my sister is unbearable, right? I can never imagine any man desiring to be married to her, and I love her, right? She's a great sister. She's one of the women that I believe is madly intelligent. Okay, she's madly intelligent. She is like, I seriously, I go to her for advice sometimes. Okay, because she is madly intelligent, madly emotionally intelligent, even though she's very dry with her emotions, right? But because she's very uh logical, right? Which is crazy for women. But she's picked the perfect man that is imperfect himself. The man is short, he's chubby, he's very average looking. Uh Money is average, no, nothing crazy. Uh, it's like he has charm to him, right? He's a charming man. But again, he's not perfect. But what she valued in this man is his character, right? She valued his charm, right? His charm is good. He's a good talker, right? Great talker. But he's a good man. Right? He's a good man. He completes her. He cooks. He semi cleans, right? She cleans. She's a neat freak. So, but he cooks for her. He's a great husband, a great father. It's like, it's not about picking perfect. It's picking right. It's focusing on actual, right, traits that are more valuable for the long term. She chose a man that is focused on being a good husband, focused on being a being a good father, focused on making up for her flaws, making up for her deficiencies. Okay, he completes her. Literally, I would say that they are soulmates, right? Soulmates, which is like insane that I've after stop being a child, I don't believe in soulmates anymore. But if I had to, they are the example of a soulmate to me, right? Because he literally completes her. He's not angry. He's not fast to anger. He's very happy-go-lucky. He's very cheerful. My sister is very dry. If she has an emotion, it is anger, right? If she has an emotion, it will be anger. So she's very direct, very blunt. I mean, like literally, he's the complete opposite to her, but he completes her. You don't need to pick perfect. You just need to pick right. That is it. Okay? Man is much shorter than me. The man is sometimes even chubby. It's like literally looks is average at best. So it's not about look, not about height, not about money. It's about who he is inside. Right? It's about who he is inside. That's what she valued. These bitches don't.
Time. Because that information and that advice is disingenuous as fuck. And anyone telling you that you should be choosing better, they're trying to humiliate you. They're trying to blame the fucked up pool of men that there is out there. They're trying to blame it on you. The shitty dating pool of men has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to sift through garbage to try to find something that isn't fucking rotten when I'm already digging in a goddamn garbage. That's where the men are. The men are literally in garbage and are telling you, you need to be picking fresh produce out of a goddamn garbage can. How dare you go in the garbage and you're looking and you don't find something that is fresh and healthy and good for you in a goddamn garbage can where all of the men decide to go, where all of the men decide to hang out. The way that they live their life is reflection of garbage. The corn, the illegal activities, the constant consumption of women schmexually, the abuse.
Quite funny coming from a stripper. Quite funny. And here's the thing. There are plenty of men that don't consume that shit. There are plenty of men. It's like, This is a problem where women that, and again, I've been against men that are over consuming, or men that are controlled by their lusts. That is disgusting in my opinion. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't let lust control you. And I've been on record of condemning these types of men. But again, those are not the only men out there. But yet those are the only men you are attracted to, only men you deal with. So again, it's you.
The violence. You live in the fucking garbage and you are expecting women to find something pure in garbage. But yet we have to stay pure for fucking garbage. We have to stay pure in order to sift through.
One, you're not pure. You're garbage. So you're attracting garbage.
Through fucking garbage and have garbage choose us. No, I am not going to put myself down in hell just so that I can have somebody that is full of fucking evil all over them. The freedom that comes along from opting out of dating is understanding that you gain freedom in every other sector of your life, because guess what? I have now removed one way that I don't have to constantly be traumatized and not get anything rewarded from it.
So I'm 29 years old and I have officially decided that I am not going to subject myself to the dating pool ever again. And disclaimer, I am attracted to men. And when I tell men this, of course, they don't believe me and they think they can change my mind. Surprise, surprise. But what I do find surprising is that when I tell women this,
and that's why I promote differently. Do not ever fucking try to change others. Don't. Do not try to change women's minds. I've said this before. I don't need hundreds of thousands, millions of men following me, because honestly, it's impossible to curate like-minded men. It is. It's impossible. Right? That's why I don't deal with that. I'm fine with the men that follow me actually, you know what? Agree with the shit I say. Maybe not 100%, but they are agreed with the core principles that I have. Don't fucking try to change women. I wish more women would opt out of dating. I wish. And it seems like it. Goldman Sachs have done a study that more women than ever before by 2030 will be single and childless. And I said it. I'm glad. We need less baby mamas in this world. We need less miserable women in this world, right? We need less of it.
especially straight women, they're usually sad for me. And I swear I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum, but what is there to be sad about? Have you met men? Like, I've seen women stay in crappy relationships with men solely because they know exactly what is out there and they do not want any parts of it. And of course, a lot of women think that I'm coming from a place of being jaded or bitter, but it's not so much the sucky experiences that I've had with men that put me off of dating. It's that even the great experiences that I've had with them do not measure up to the fun experiences and conversations that I have had with my family, friends, and community. Like, even the highs and the honeymoon phases that I've had with men in my past did not top the experiences and just life-changing conversations that I've had with my friends. And
This is a thing where when, again, she has I'm not saying 100% her shit is only hating men, but I believe at least every time I've seen her, it's about men, right? And again, this is why I support, please, I'm glad, stop dating men. Decenter men, 4B movement all the way, right? I wish more women like this would do it. Because in my opinion, it is bitterness. It is, because here's the thing where most of these women have said it, right? They think, oh, it's no, I'm not jaded. I'm not miserable. No, you are. You just don't see it. Okay. Because you have an already underlining hate for men. You already see the negativity in men. So even if you have good experiences, you only see the negative. Okay. It doesn't measure up, right? It's not good enough. It's not, because again, in your mind, it's a man. In your mind, it's a man already. So already, just being a man is already a negative. Being a man is already, detract from you. You cannot have good conversation because you're a man, right? You cannot. Which is funny because the more intellectual debates, the more intellectual conversations are from men. But okay.
Please know that I'm aware that happy and fulfilling relationships can exist between men and women. I just don't think there's a need to be sad about women or femme people deciding not to date men. We're not wasting our youth or our beauty. Like, I promise you, we're okay. Real question half the time is, are y'all okay? So I'm 29. Although I tend to give out a lot of advice to women on how to navigate the patriarchy through the lens of gender studies, I've come to the realization.
And are you surprised that women like that? She like what she just said. Are you surprised that she doesn't value men? Right? Even the great experience she has with men, she won't see any value in it. Because this is the thing. This is what feminism produces, right? It's already poison. So no great experience can ever compare, can ever even measure up. Because honestly, you already see the poison in men. You already view men as poison.
That I've never really been too vulnerable about my own issues that I've had with men or the mistakes that I've made when interacting with them on an interpersonal level or just on a systemic level. So without further ado, here are 5 lessons that I learned from 5 guys in the past. When I first got on Tinder around the age of 18, right out of high school, the first guy that I met up with definitely taught me that men will infiltrate and taint spaces that are designed for women that helps give them more agency or more hope when navigating their interactions with men, despite not necessarily being women-centered. If y'all remember the way that Tinder was marketed when it first came out, they made it seem like this was going to be a dating app that was a space to find romantic connection or even, casual friendships, and men straight up turned it into a hookup app. And let's just say when I met up with him, I found that out the hard way.
Men did it? I'm quite sure that you have to like a man to interact with said men. Dating statistics have shown that women swipe on very few men. Data statistics have shown that women swipe on about 20% of men. When you blame, when you have gripes against all men, yet your data pool, right, that you source from, is only 20% of men. That shows you your low IQ. That shows you how disingenuous you are. When you use a small pool, right, to equate men, shows you your low IQ.
The second guy, who I also met through a dating app, because I guess I didn't learn my lesson the first time, taught me that men are greedy. Like they just aren't satisfied with any amount of affection.
2 men, and then you say men. I try my best not to insult women, but I'm trying.
You give them, and as someone who was freshly dating and didn't date too much in high school, that was really shocking to me. Like, if you give them a hug, they'll want a kiss. If you give them a kiss, they'll want some touching. If you give them some touching, they'll want some, and so on and so forth. The third guy, which is one that I met when I was 19, and if y'all know what that means, then you know this was a canon event, taught me that the words "I love you" mean absolutely nothing to a lot of men. Because men had marketed themselves as being incapable of expressing themselves emotionally, I thought that when they said "I love you," that they had to mean it, because according to them, it was really hard for them to say it. Trust, it is not hard for them to say it, to write sonnets, poems, songs about you, as long as they think they are getting something that they want. The fourth guy I was seeing freshly out of a relationship, and he literally offered himself up as a rebound and said that we can keep this casual and there's no pressure. One night he asks me if I had been seeing anybody else aside from him. I was like, yes, I just saw somebody 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden the mood changes, but then he quickly snaps back. Only he didn't snap back because the next day he texts me that while he appreciated my honesty, it's not good for me to be too honest because it may throw guys off. But also, I should be honest because that is the right thing to do. And if I had hooked up with somebody, he would really want to know, but not too honest. If that explanation made you feel like you were having a stroke, congratulations. You learned, just like I did, that men are not nearly as logical or rational as they claim to be. Half of them are moving through their ego, half of them are moving through emotions, but logic is not in the room. And finally, an unfortunate...
I don't know you, right? I don't know about you, but if I can impart some critical thinking onto you, when you listen to all these women, please think about this. What is the basis of their logic? What's the basis of their logic? When you think about it, it's the men they chose. It's not men. Okay? I've said this before. Why do you think I make distinction that women need to be more detail oriented, more specific? Why? The problem with a lot of women is that they don't realize you're not talking about men, right? You're not even talking about 51% of men. You talk about men you choose, men you're attracted to, men you wanted. Why do I say not even 51%? Because you got to think about this. Dating statistics is it's not necessarily 100% correct, right? I mean, I always said this. You take all statistics with a grain of salt, okay? But it's a good estimate, right? It's a good basis for building a logical conclusion or a logical path. Dating statistics have already shown you that women only care about 20% of men. So even their logic, right? You can see that when you make it a bigger scale, it's not even women are not even talking about, or at least their pool, right? Pool of their dating pool, or their what's the word? Pool, I don't know. Pool of candidates, or whatever. Like their own logical examples, their own examples in their mind. It's not even based on the majority of men, 51%. It is usually based on a small percent of men. 20% is a good basis. Let's say even we could expand it if we want to do it. 30, 40% of men. Still, not even half. And why do I put a grain of salt even expanding? Because you got to think. A lot of these women are dealing with the same men. So here's this woman, right? Talking about a bunch of men she's dealt with. I guarantee you, these men that she's dealt with, other women are dealing with the same situations with the same said men. Because you got to think about the players, the pookies, the bad boys. These aren't one woman men, right? You also got to think the baby mama thing, the baby mama epidemic. Why is it that statistics show that there are more women with children than there are men with children? You would think that it would be equal, right? But it's not. Why? Because a lot of these women are dealing with the same men. So a lot of these women are sharing the same baby daddy. So even that you can't say men. Because again, if you're sharing the same, if like one man has 3, 4, 5 baby mamas, you're not dealing with men. You're dealing with one man. You're dealing with one man for every, let's say, 5 women.
Unfortunately, my last ex, shout out to Janae Craig, taught me that men can absolutely hate your guts and continue to be in a relationship with you as long as you are useful to them in some way, shape, or form. The minute you feel like something is off, the minute you feel like this relationship just isn't fun or benefiting me anymore, you can leave. You can just leave. Although I tend to give out a lot of advice to women on how So I recently saw this tweet and paused to read it if you need to, but I genuinely feel that if more people, and especially women, recognize just how common this is, we would advance as a society. I'm gonna hold y'all's hands when I say this, but as long as you
I think that's stupid, right? You saw the tweet. It says, marrying a man is marrying a woman he hates. Yet no example of it. You're just saying it. This is a thing where now you can maybe look at it in a different way. Where a man is marrying a woman where maybe he desires a 9, right? He desires a 9, or he wants he desires a supermodel that looks like a supermodel, but he's marrying a woman that doesn't, right? He wants a woman that's a 9, marrying a woman that's maybe a 5 or a 4. And maybe in that mind, when you think about that, right? You think about those numbers, you think about that, the words I said. You think, oh, he must hate her. He must hate the woman that he's marrying. But if you look at it differently, it isn't that he hates her. It's that, you know what? You rather trade off that, you know what? This woman that I'm marrying, her personality is amazing. She loves me. She cares about me. She wouldn't cheat on me. She wouldn't mistreat me. She actually wants me, right? Why don't you think about, oh, you know what? I love her for her personality. Instead of, you know what? I love her because she's a 9. Because she's, instead of getting with a 9, if I get with a 9, she'd probably cheat on me. She'd probably mistreat me. She probably just wanted to take my money. Because here's like I said, right? When my sister right now, my sister, when my sister was young, plenty of men wanted her, right? But she chose a man that, visually wouldn't necessarily be on her visual level. Okay. But she chose him based on who he is inside. That's the thing where, why can't men do the same? It's like, I find it funny that, again, I'm just talking about in a particular case, because the person didn't give no details. But why is it that a woman can love a man for who he is inside, but a man can't do the same? And then you think that, oh, if he's like not getting with a woman that he's like 100% attracted to, he must be settling. He must hate her. No, he's not focused on that. Like, even if you, like, this is a thing where even if you date a 9, right? You think that you will never find no other women attractive? You think you would never find a woman that's even more attractive than the woman you are dating? There's always one that's always better looking.
are useful to a man, he does not have to like you in order to keep you around. You pair that with the fact that we are living through late stage capitalism, and it is not difficult to see how this dynamic is created. Because in these
And to assume that he doesn't like you and he's only with you because you're useful to him. This is why I'm glad that women like this are opting out of dating. To think that a man just sees your usefulness. Oh, not because he loves you for who you are, right? Even though, yes, it's like, so are we dating people that would like absolutely are useless to us? That absolutely mistreat us? This is probably why, right? Women like this become miserable because they date men that, you know what? Don't see any value in them besides whatever, right? It's like, you wouldn't want a person that treats you with love, respect, actually thinks about you, actually wants to be with you, actually, doesn't mistreat you.
times, it's not always about how much money you make, but rather how much money you can save, making the free labor that women provide an invaluable asset. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I was working 8 to 12 hours a day and I had someone come around who would
I already talked about this, right? The free labor thing. It has been shown that women do about 58% of this free labor, while men do about 42. It's not like it's such a insane gap, like such a amazing, free labor. It's not. Men are actually holding up their own.
was cooking for me for free, doing my laundry for free, cleaning my house for free.
And is it for free when you are providing a roof over our head? You're providing the bills and Utilities, the rent, or the mortgage, is it free? Taking her out on dinner dates, buying her gifts, taking her on trips, is that really free? But I guess women don't care about that.
And raising my children for free, being a
Your
therapist for
children.
free, and being intimate with me for free. Dude,
One, a lot of women are not intimate when men desire them to be intimate. And second, why are women marrying or dating men that they get no pleasure from being intimate with? Why are women, uh, this is why, you wonder why this, like, you could hear it, right? Why are these women attracting such terrible men? Because honestly, they themselves are terrible women. Like, women like this will only attract the most, red flags of men.
saving me all this money, but then contributing money to the household, allowing me to live this balanced life that I want to live. My first rather unhinged thought is that this person would have to enter witness protection just to get away from me. And my second thought is that if they were to ever leave me, I would need to get another one. But being able to take advantage of someone guilt-free without reciprocating any of that is not an act of love, it's an act of hatred. And trust me, I know it's hard to accept that men would go through the very taxing steps of getting married, and especially to someone they hate. But if you think about it in the context that I just previously explained, it starts.
I find it interesting. So men get married to women they hate, yet men are not the ones to predominantly divorce. Does it not seem like women are getting married to men they don't like? Right? It's like, where's your proof? Because I can make correlation to women are the ones to predominantly file for divorce. And again, the number one reason for divorce is lack of commitment. Seems like she's not committed to him, in my opinion. Again, I'm making inference, right? If men hate women so much, particularly the ones they're married to, wouldn't men be the ones to divorce the women they hate? Like, it seems like a logical path to follow, right? If you hate this woman so much, wouldn't you be the one to predominantly file for divorce? It seems like women hate these men so much, right? Women are settling. And how many times, this is a thing where it's predominantly, you hear the narrative, women use the word or are the ones saying, I settle. I don't hear men in mass saying they settled. I don't.
To make sense. While horrifying and unjustifiable, it starts to make sense. So I recently saw this tweet.
At this point, ladies, just stay busy.
Watch the whole
Just
video.
Stay busy, stay unreachable, and stay untouchable, because these men really don't like us.
You gonna see
they
why?
don't like us. They lying. They pretending.
Yep.
They emotionally unavailable. They emotionally.
You see this shit, right? Cheated for 3 years, and I've been on here 3 years.
Men simply don't know how to cheat. I've had the same side for 3 years. Again, you know what? This is why you're going to suffer through it, right? You're suffering through it. Why? I have multiple videos of the same woman, right? Because I let them speak. If you let women speak, you can hear their hypocrisies, their delusions, their insanity. We're suffering through it, right? But it's kind of interesting in a way, or at least for me, where I love to hear women say some shit and then show her hypocrisy, show her delusions, right? Shows how she don't make fucking sense.
Making these videos, and they say you must hate women because they trash, right? That lady just said 11 years she been cheating. This lady been cheating 20 years with her side nigga. She got 2 kids, probably don't even know who the father is. Somebody else got 20 years, 14 to 34. They bragging about being trash, the same trash they say we are. 15 years, 8 years, 5 years.
Ain't that something? Then I have a couple videos of women, right, saying how evil men are. how men are married to or dating women they hate. Out of the horse's mouth, right? Literally, here's women proving these other stupid ass women wrong. This is why I said I love, right, creating these videos. Because if men have if you hear women say shit, bring it to my video. Right? Bring it to a video that particularly will counteract the shit she spews.
Years. They don't care that they can get pregnant and ain't gonna know who the father is. But if you notice, they on here talking so much trash about men, and especially black men. They don't want to get married. They don't like us. They don't take us serious. It's because they need therapy. They got mommy and daddy issues. They're gay. All because y'all trash. But you know what's crazy? You always hear about those dudes who get cheated on in middle school and they never the same. It took me until I was 33 to finally just know I was never going to do this shit again. But then I hear the way they talk on the internet, and it's just a constant reminder to not do that. But the difference between me and a man they can complain about is I'm not going to continue to date and just treat them like the trash that they are, because that's what they like. That's why they connect with those men for longer. I just choose to stay single. But then they asking all these questions. How come men don't want to date? They can't come up with one reason. They think we don't see how they participating in the real world because they live in their mind and they tell themselves bullshit just to feel better about what they really doing. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
Marriage is meant to benefit men more than women, and a clear example of this is the fact that we generally do not hear about women having secret families, at least compared to men. And this is not because women don't cheat, right? Because anyone can cheat. That is not a gender-specific thing. It is more a mix of societal, logistical, and biological factors. So one, first and foremost, the idea of having kids. Women who are pregnant can't conceal that they are pregnant. And if they are able to hide that pregnancy, it is usually only up to an extended period of time until it is obvious that they are pregnant. So that is a dead giveaway. 2, child custody norms. Moms have a significantly higher chance of having custody of their kids compared to dads. And this also applies even if those kids are coming from different dads. So again, a woman is going to have a harder time hiding a family or multiple families if all of her kids live with her under the same roof in the same household. And 3, lack of opportunity. This is not necessarily saying that men are better at hiding things or sneakier, but that we know at this point that women are the ones who pick up the slack when it comes to emotional labor and mental load and invisible labor. So again, a woman who is already running a household is most likely not going to decide to pick up more work and put that on her plate to hide multiple households to run. I'm just going to leave this at that, but stay safe out there.
Literally showed no studies, no statistical basis for her views. Right? She used invisible labor, it's like intangible shit to help prove her fucking argument. And the septum ring. Again, I've said this before. Feminism has poisoned Asian women as well. So don't just automatically think, oh, passport bro, because no, Asian women are no better, right? Absolutely idiotic.
Do you know that both men and women rate younger first dates as more desirable future partners? But the academic community, which is historically just a group of old men, had always just presumed that women like older men and men like younger women, and that worked for everybody, and so nobody thought to ask the women. But when they did think to ask them, they found that actually women rate younger men as more desirable future partners in the same way that men rate younger women as more desirable future partners. And it's really interesting because when they looked at 130 countries and they analysed the age gap, they didn't find a single country where the age gap was reversed, so where women were on average older than men. And this is despite the fact that women are saying that they prefer younger men. And what they think is that basically,
well, what women say and what women do doesn't necessarily correlate, right? So you don't follow what fucking women say. You follow what they do.
we live in a patriarchy and men have more power and opportunity to exert their preference, and so they do. But when they add
No accountability. I just love it. right? No accountability. We live in a patriarchy. Women can't do what they want to do, right? Women can't do what they want to do, even though women say it. They can't do what they want to do. The patriarchy is stopping women from doing it. Like literally, men are the patriarchs are handcuffing women. Fathers are stopping women. Brothers are stopping women from dating younger. Mm.
Analyze the preferences of men and women throughout their lifetimes, they found that men prefer to date younger women throughout their lives. Women, when they're younger, tend to date older men and prefer to date older men, and that is thought to be because of the liabilities of dating a younger man, because we know that men don't mature as quickly as women do. When women go into middle age, they tend to date men who are around the same age as them, and when they go into old age, they prefer to date younger men. And this is thought to be because we live in a patriarchy, and women don't want to become a nurse to an old man. And in patriarchy, if you have a heterosexual couple and you are going into old age, it's going to be expected that the woman takes care of the man. So a lot of women who are older are removing themselves from the dating pool of dating older men and dating younger men because they don't want to become a nurse. Now, all of this comes with the caveat that when you look...
They don't become a nurse, but they become a sugar mama. They become easy access to sex.
At men and women and how they rate attractiveness across their ages, women tend to rate men who are around the same age as them as the most attractive. So they might be a few years younger, they might be a few years older, but they are around their age. Men rate women who are 22 as the most attractive consistently, however old they get. So when we're talking about women dating younger men, we're probably talking about women dating men who are 5 to 10 years younger than them, not 20, 30 or 40 years younger than them. It does happen, but it doesn't happen very often. Men, on the other hand, when we're talking about them dating outside of their age range and their preference for dating younger women, they're talking about being in their 30s, 40s and 50s and dating women who are in their early 20s. So there you go, you've learned something new about women and dating today. They too prefer younger. Just
Literally. I don't know what you learned. Okay.
I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm a girl and my ex actually resented how nice I was. It wasn't hot. So I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm a girl and my ex actually resented how nice I was. It wasn't hot. So my theory is that a lot of guys actually like being negged, which is why there's like popular dating theory for men that is you should neg women in order to get their attention. And I'm not saying that this doesn't work when it comes to dealing with insecure people of any gender. If you insult them in a way that makes them feel insecure and that they need to like win your approval or become desirable to you, this is like a pickup artist tactic, not something that I'd recommend if you want to be in like a healthy relationship. But following from this sentiment, I don't think that you need to neg people, but I also don't think you need to be overly nice. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be kind and generous and respectful, but like overly people pleasing dynamics indicate to people who have like developed healthy boundaries that maybe you don't have healthy boundaries. And that is an uncomfortable pill, hard pill to swallow, and one that I had to swallow myself too. And for women, when it comes to dealing with men, like being just a little, not being so easy to talk to, you know, be comfortable with like throwing a joke back in a guy's face. It makes him feel kind of like there's something for him to chase. If it's too easy, he won't appreciate it. And as women, we are sometimes conditioned to think like, oh, men want things to be easy, so you should make it easier for them in order to be desirable. But I don't think that's true for men or people in general. Because the paradox of being a human being is that we want things to be easy, we want the path of least resistance, but subconsciously it's like you don't appreciate things that you didn't earn, or you don't appreciate things that you don't feel you have earned. So if you are being overly nice to someone who doesn't feel like he's done anything to deserve your...
I think she's conflating, right? I mean, it's not that great to react to, but she's conflating like being overly nice to just being, not one dimensional, right? It's like when you're playing around, right? Like she said, like throwing at jabs. That's just you're playing around, right? So not the same as just that's not what you say being overly nice. It's like you're making a relationship more more fun, more energized. So negging is not the same, right? Men don't enjoy being negged. or nagged, right? No. It's just make things enjoyable.
It must be so peaceful living as a man, knowing that you could do things like walk your dog at night, go running at night, just exist in the world, really. Exist in a world where no one bothers you. This afternoon when I got to work, my manager, who's also my friend, but he told me how he had to save this young girl's life who was about my age this morning because a homeless man had her pinned up against the wall with his pants down, about to stick his you-know-what in her. And she was just walking her dog, crying uncontrollably. He literally saved her life. Really unsettling information to hear at the start of my shift where I'm supposed to be happy. But again, you men don't have to worry about things like that. Stay safe, ladies. Always. It must be so.
I love this, where men predominantly experience violence. Men experience a whole lot more horrible violence than women do. You think a man walking around late at night would not be in high alert of violence? Yeah, no other man is wanting to fuck him, but they would want to kill him. They want to beat the shit out of him. They want to mug him. And here's the thing. No other man is going to come to his safety. No other man is going to come to his fucking rescue. Literally, you have the audacity, right, to come here and say that, oh, okay, here's a man that saved a woman. Please tell me a story of a man being saved by another man. Please tell me that.